I became an esthetician kind of because of my own struggles with skin. So I've always been acne prone, especially ever since becoming an adult, which people don't realize you can have acne as a kid.
Yeah.
But then there's a lot of women that struggle with it once we hit like adulthood.
Yeah.
It's just our hormones.
I was gonna say the hormone fluctuation.
Yeah. So once I found this company, it was of course focusing on the skin part, like my, what I went to school for, but then it also had like the wellness stuff there. Multiple services that benefit like holistically treating like multiple different things.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of people coming through there.
Yeah.
Athletes, huge for cryotherapy. A lot of people that struggle with any type of pain and inflammation in the body that aren't looking to go like the medical route, or it's just not working for them. They've seen multiple people, these things aren't working for them, so they'll go more holistically towards us.
I'd be like, oh, I need like this topical treatment, or like one friend introduced me to some like company. They Alani knew.
Yeah.
You ever heard of that? And they had like this pill. It was like, make your skin look great. And I swear to God, I had like a placebo effect, because I'd be like, I take it and be like, oh my God, this worked. My skin looks great now. And then I was like, I'm like, this can't be fucking real. Like, this can't be real.
It depends on the company. There's so much to it nowadays. There's so many like pills that you could take for all these different things.
It's like, what's the long-term side effects
with those pills?
Yeah, I just don't like the idea. Like, just recently, I've just gotten way more like in tune with like, bro, like, why does everything have like some type of chemical solution, some type of man-made solution, when I feel like the earth provide? And I'm not like a hippie. I'm not like, you know what I mean? Let's go outside and like lay in the grass, and you know what I mean? And no offense to you Chicago people that are like that. I love that for you. But I'm not like that.
Into that stuff.
Yeah, I'm not like, but I'm not
I'll
like.
start grounding on the
I like
grass,
so I will like walk barefoot, but I think it's more of like me being lazy. I don't want to put shoes on.
Yeah.
But it feels good. It does feel better.
I feel like running around as a kid in like the grass.
Yes.
Like,
Yeah, I love that.
We just never really thought about how like technically we were always grounding.
Yeah.
And now like I'm never obviously doing that. So
Yeah.
I don't know, I feel like it's crazy.
I
to
agree
think
with that.
about, like the differences.
I agree with that. Let's not get too much further. We've got a cool episode, because I'm pretty sure I found you from TikTok. So liked one of the videos and I was like, all right, you know what I mean? Let's look like a normal person. Because a lot of them are just like hate accounts and like bot accounts. Check it out in Chicago. I'm like, okay, she actually like does something cool too. So you're an esthetician and then you work in wellness.
Yes.
Restorative wellness, would that be a better?
Restorative Wellness is the company I'm in right now.
Okay.
But I became an esthetician kind of because of my own struggles with skin. So I've always been acne prone, especially ever since becoming an adult, which people don't realize you can have acne as a kid.
Yeah.
But then there's a lot of women that struggle with it once we hit like adulthood.
Yeah.
It's just our hormones.
I was gonna say the hormone fluctuation.
Yeah. So once I found this company, it was of course focusing on the skin part, like my, what I went to school for, but then it also had like the wellness stuff there. Multiple services that benefit like holistically treating like multiple different things.
Yeah.
So we have a lot of people coming through there.
Yeah.
Athletes, huge for cryotherapy. A lot of people that struggle with any type of pain and inflammation in the body that aren't looking to go like the medical route, or it's just not working for them. They've seen multiple people, these things aren't working for them, so they'll go more holistically towards us.
Do you guys do like stem cell?
We don't.
Yeah. I did stem cell when I was 21. I blew out my meniscus, and it actually, I believe, was a massive contribution. But my ego led me to believe that like, oh, I'm 21, I just did stem cell, I'll just immediately go back the next day, and I like blew it out again. So it didn't really help. It was just a bunch of money. This is Sam Carp. We took 18 minutes for us to announce that. Am I saying that correct?
Carpenter is my last name, but my social media is Carp. Yeah,
okay, so there's her social media. Two birds, one stone. So how old are you? Did you do school? Obviously, you said.
I'm 24.
Okay.
25 next month.
Let's go.
My story's kind of crazy. I never know what I want to do with my life.
Kind
of thing. I graduated. I went to college. I ended up dropping out of college. I didn't really think it was for me at the time, and I think it was just kind of like the headspace I was in too. To this day, it is one of like kind of my biggest regrets, but I ended up doing something that I love, and like it ended up working out. So, I dropped out of college and I went to aesthetic school, and that's only like a year-long program.
Yeah.
Graduated and then pretty much started.
Now, where are you from?
I'm from around the area. I'm from the suburbs of Chicago.
Okay.
Around this area.
And then are your parents from Chicago too?
Mm-hmm.
And then who were you closest with growing up, mom or dad?
My mom.
Mom?
Mm-hmm. They're divorced.
Okay. When did they split up?
I was 12.
12? And what did your mom do growing up? Why did you guys have the dynamic? Because usually it's daddy's little girl. So, like, what's...
Yeah, for me, it was a little bit of the opposite.
Yeah.
When they split up, I think at that age, it was almost like I just had lots of anger towards the whole concept, because at that age where I grew up in like this suburban area that nobody's parents were divorced.
Yeah.
So I was the first person to experience it.
Yeah.
So it was just this like hatred almost towards like at the time, like, towards the fact that this is happening. I'm like, oh my God, why is this happening to me?
Yeah.
My sisters were also extremely young, so they didn't understand it.
Yeah.
They didn't understand what was going on. Kind of lost track of what we were talking about.
Why you got so close with your mom?
Why I got close with my mom. They had this agreement that my mom would get us more than my dad.
Yeah.
At the time. So he also was a firefighter growing up, so he had to work overnight.
Yeah.
Like 24 hours on, 3 days off.
Yeah.
So we had this schedule going on where I was just with my mom a lot more.
Mm-hmm.
And then, of course, there was also, like, my personal issues with my father. I just sometimes...
Yeah. Both my parents were in jail, and my mom went away when I was first, or when she went away first, when I was, like, 7, and they split up when I was 6. So, like, I completely understand that. And we were in, like, a suburban area, but we were in the country, like, the country, like, grew up riding horses. But I completely understand that, though, of, like, I'm mama's boy, but I think that's the typical route for young dudes. But completely understand that split up and everything like that. And then you got the conversation, it's not your fault. Like, I don't even feel like I was thinking that as a kid. You know what I mean? When the parents like, hey, I just don't want you to think this. I wasn't thinking that, but thanks.
I guess, like, too, what people don't understand if they haven't gone through, like, the divorced parents thing. When they're younger, when we're younger, we don't understand exactly why they're getting a divorce.
Yeah, I have no idea what's going on.
Like, my mom had explained to me, like, once I got to a certain age,
Yeah.
like, what exactly happened between them, because she wasn't going to explain these things when I was 5 years old. She explained them to me, and I'm like, wow.
And
like,
then
I get it now.
Yeah.
Like, I'm actually so happy that you guys decided to do that when you did.
Yeah.
And now they're both happily remarried.
That's good.
I couldn't be happier for them. Mm-hmm.
That's crazy. And I literally was just making content earlier about when you grow up in a split home, you almost have, I don't know if you have this, but I have like split memories. Because I have like, my dad told me this is what happened, and my mom told me this is what happened. But I was so young, my mind molded to kind of both of the stories. And it wasn't until probably a couple years ago, and I'll be 25 this month, probably 20, 21, where I like settled into like my own identity, opposed to mom's identity, dad's identity, and then I kind of met in the middle. But it took, you figure, like 10 years for it to really like make sense of like, but and at the end though, it did more so add up towards my mom, her side of the story of like, all right, yeah, that definitely makes sense of like why. And I think that's why I'm so passionate, where it's like, I wouldn't call myself a feminist. You know, I'm very masculine, but at the same time, I was raised by women. So like my love and adoration for my mom, my little sister, and then my future concept of a marriage, because that's what I want, like monogamy. I'm not into the, you know what I mean, all the whatever people want to do, but I think that's something we miss in our culture today, but I look at it as like what I went through as a blessing, because if I didn't, I don't know. I feel like men today are just like not men. You know what I mean? Like I think it's just broken. The idea of the inequality, I think some of them just completely blow out of proportion. The top G concept of like, have as many girlfriends as possible. I think it's disgusting. You know what I mean? I think it's physically, just biologically disgusting as well. You're just going to contract something that's just, you know what I mean, not incurable. You know what I mean? So, and the concept of it, I don't think they really realize, like, you having some list of women doesn't make you a more valuable man. You know what I mean? Like, I'm never, like, that's not something, I would not pride myself in that, you know? So, but I think of my mom, my sister, and that dynamic, because some people are like, you can never have a son raised by women. I'm like, shit, dude, I turned out all right, I think. You know
I think I have a lot to say about, like, I don't even want to go into, like, how men are treating people nowadays.
Yes.
But I think when you're raised with sisters, I've noticed, like, from my experiences with men, when you're raised with sisters, and then, like, say you were in, like, a split parent situation, you were with your mom more, like, these just people, they just have, like, a lot more respect. So So I don't know. It's weird to see like the differences between like if you're just around like males like your entire life, and then like I don't know.
I completely agree. One thing really hit me. I was such an angry kid. I was like really angry just in general from everything that was going on. One thing that really hit me, I was a bad kid, angry kid, and I mean just with the grotesque society of like, man, like my dad was like one of those dudes like, you gotta have a girlfriend, and I'm like 7 years old. So like just he was like nuts. And I remember middle school, I got in trouble for PDA with like a little girlfriend, 7th or 8th grade. And I remember being in ISS and the dude saying, what if some dude was doing that to your sister? And like, I can't fight the ISS teacher, you know what I mean? And I'm like, I sat, and I to this day still think of that. And it's like a little like moral compass for me of like, would I want my sister treated the way I would treat this girl?
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
Like,
oh,
yeah,
no.
exactly.
You know what I mean? Like, then it's like, no, absolutely, like, no.
Exactly. And those people that have sisters, like, I just feel like I've noticed them just kind of like having a little bit more respect towards like females, and then like I see
that as soon as Andrew Tate started blowing up, because it started blowing, because when you walked in, the culture's like a frat, you know what I mean? It's like a Wolf of Wall Street, you know what I mean? It really is like that with sales in general. But immediately that content started flooding through our office, and there's 100 young men just top G, and I'm like, just understand there's some great things that he's saying, but when it comes to the females, I don't think you guys are getting the context, or he's just delivering it absolutely horribly. Because would you let someone, and this is my simple question, would you let someone top G your mother?
Right.
Would you let someone top G your sister? And they were like, no. I was like, then let's not top G the other girls, guys. You know what I mean? Because it's like, if it's not cool for your mom or your sister, then it's just not cool for women in general. You know what I mean? So this is our sub rant. You know, we were gonna get on here and talk about cold plunges and cryo, and we went to the top G.
No,
so.
It's interesting you bring this stuff up. Like, you talked about how you're a mommy's boy, and like you were sisters or whatever. It's like as a kid, I have 2 sisters.
Yeah.
You know, and I also like was with my mom all the time.
Mm-hmm.
So, unfortunately, I grew up lacking kind of the love and attention from my father.
Yeah.
So, as I'm older, I've kind of noticed in myself, you kind of realize these things come out. Like,
yes.
I sometimes feel like I crave
the
love from, like, things that I just didn't get as a kid.
I'm the same way.
Which is a trauma response.
Yeah.
Like, fully.
Yeah.
But it's just something that
it's
I'm glad I realize, I guess.
Yeah.
And that I work on.
I'm the same way, and I think it's the same way for men, because I think I go so hard in business because I never got applause or appreciation from my father, or it stopped. So I'm like, I want to make, like the gentleman that I'm partnered with, he's 40, been in the business for 20 years, just doing life insurance. And I would say, like, despite all the money that I've been able to make and been blessed with, I care more about, like, is he proud of me? Yeah. You know what I mean? So I have like this, my daddy issues would be like, man, dude, are you just like, can I just make you proud? I will do whatever to make you proud of me. You know what I mean? I'll work day and night, you know, and invest all my money back into the bit, like whatever it takes. And so I can see that and relate to that. Cause I think a lot of guys just think like, oh yeah, she's just got daddy issues. Or like, I think dudes, we got just as bad, or if not more, cause it'll compel you to want to get attention and appreciation elsewhere. Cause a lot of our dads, they started off planting decent seeds, but like just the context was like, I think that's where like, you know, I went wild in high school because my dad was like, oh, you don't have when he got out of jail, I was like, you don't have a girlfriend yet? And I was like, no, I'm 15. He's like, are you gay? And I was like,
oh my God.
I was like, dude, bro, I swear to God, you can ask my little sister, that ruined me. That ruined me. But I think those little things that dudes won't open up and they won't talk about that.
Yeah,
that's what will make them go wild. I was as soon as he said, I was like, no, that I can't. Why would like, all this time you've been away, and that's, you know what I mean, that's all you cared about. And like, it was, you know, rest of high school just girls. And I look back and I don't there was no value in that, you know what I mean? And it's like, you know, I guess you can live and learn when you're young, and it's good to get it out then, but it's like, if I could go back, it's like, I still would like to be like, nah, you know what I mean? I wasn't crazy in high school, but
yeah,
you can kind of trace it back.
Now that we're like at our at our age, there are still like men that I've met that are still kind of acting that way, like almost like we're still in high school, like kind of like the way that you're describing it. Yeah, there's people like even older than us that like are still kind
a lot of broken
in that
people.
Same like concept of girls, like they literally take nothing seriously.
Yeah,
to where it's like, okay, there has to be something behind this. Like what? Like, you know what I mean? So it's just, I know what you mean.
Broken society. There's a good quote that goes around where it's like, strong men, they make good times, and good times make weak men, and weak men make bad times, and it's just a cycle. And it's like, it all makes sense. Let's go into what was high school like for you.
I had a great high school experience. I went to a very, very big high school.
Yeah? What was the high school?
Lyons Township High School. We have 2 campuses. The campuses are split because it's so big. So freshman and sophomore is one campus, and junior and senior is the other.
Yeah.
It's in like Western Springs, LaGrange area. So because the school is so big, it was an experience. Just having that many people you're surrounded by.
You guys got to send a lot of people to like the major league sports. You know what I mean? NBA, NFL, all that.
Yeah, we do. There is somebody that was on. Who played in the Super Bowl last year?
I don't watch football.
Okay, well, somebody was on in the Super Bowl last
Eagles
year.
and Chiefs?
I think somebody on the Eagles was,
Yeah?
Anyways, it was a good experience. There were some years where it was like hell, but then there were like great years.
Yeah.
So I can overall say like I had a great high school experience.
Was there any pivotal moments that just kind of shaped you into the woman you are today that like you can think back and be like, this good thing or this bad thing happened in high school and it made me the woman I am today?
I was like, my first and only like person that I've ever been like truly in love with was in high school, and it's crazy to think that I'm now 25 and I say that.
Yeah.
Because like, have I had countless boyfriends since? Sure.
Yeah.
But to think back at like how that's like the only person,
it's
just crazy that it happened at such a young age.
Yeah.
So I think going through like the biggest heartbreak of my entire life at that age, like most people do.
Yeah.
I feel like because it's like your first.
Yeah.
But it pivots like my entire future in what I look for in like relationships and like my life in the future. So I think that was a big part of, and I was like severely like depressed afterwards. Like it's just this, you know. But then of course I've overcame that and I've learned from it. So then ever since then, I think that's like pivoted my life towards a lot.
Yeah.
But other than that.
Yeah, the high school sweetheart breakup's the hardest.
I know.
I feel like that's the hardest one. Now, the breakup into college. Where'd you go to college? What was college like?
I went to Western Michigan University.
Okay.
I wasn't that great in school.
Yeah.
I will tell you that right now. Like I wasn't like a great student, and that's something that I like struggle with to this day. Like it's just something that I've struggled with, but. I got into Western Michigan, so I was like, I'm going to go there. I knew a few people going there.
Yeah.
It wasn't like this, like, I got to get into all these schools. Like, I wasn't, like, dedicated on finding, like, the best school ever to go. Because I also didn't know what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
Like, I literally had no idea. So I went, and it was, like, a good school, a great experience. I met a lot of people, but it just wasn't for me.
Yeah.
I also... like was very homesick, and I think more than like a lot of people.
Yeah.
I had a really hard time with that. So that was like a big reason why I came home.
So are you and your mom like Biffs?
Yes.
Yeah?
Yes. My sisters are my best friends.
Yeah.
Me and my sisters and my mom. Because they both got remarried, my mom moved away. Actually, she's in Skokie. She's not like away. She's an hour away, but when we were at that age, her moving away, we actually had to move in with my dad to finish out high school. Yeah. Where we like were, because like we couldn't just move out to another like school.
Yeah.
So it was hard. My mom leaving was hard, like because it's like we only saw her like once or twice a week then. Yeah. And it was just this like big adjustment, which again, like parents being divorced, it's just all these adjustments. Yeah. You go here one day, you're here another day. It's very stressful on all of us, but yeah. My mom is like everything to me, and my sisters.
Yeah, that's why my you can't see the face. It's behind that yellow thing. I just bought this massive tortoise. It's not here right now.
I saw your story.
Yeah.
That's
my
insane.
sister's. I told her she had to watch it, so she's watching it right now.
What's its name?
I'm like stuck between like I love bulldogs, so we're calling it like Bull. Okay. But this other person told us to call it Tugboat, and I kind of like that. I have no idea.
I like Tugboat.
It's supposed to live like 1,000 years, so it doesn't really matter.
What?
No, that's an exaggeration, but it's supposed to live like 150 years.
Wow.
And it's 12, so and it's supposed to get like 5 times bigger.
What's gonna happen when you die? Who's gonna take care of it then?
Gonna have
your
to,
kids?
who knows? I'm gonna have to make it part of the estate, put it in like a beneficiary, whatever. But okay, so college, you drop out, close with your mom. But as you drop out, how long ago was the dropout to where you're at now? Was it 2 years ago, 3 years ago?
It was like literally like only a year into college, so I was like 19.
Okay, so what's that look like? That like what are we 4 years? So what's that 4 years look like?
After I dropped out, would say I completely lost myself.
Yeah.
Like mentally, physically, and just like overall, I didn't give a shit about myself.
Yeah.
I decided to like not go straight into school, so I didn't go straight into like aesthetics. I just worked retail for a couple years, just trying to make money. My dad was on my ass about trying to figure out like either some type of schooling, literally just trying to guide me into like you need to have some type of plan to have a career. Like obviously that's what dads do. So I just completely lost myself.
Yeah.
I was drinking 3-4 nights a week with just people that were bad influences at the time for me. Staying up till 4 a.m, drinking, binge eating, hence why I gained a bunch of weight.
Yeah.
I literally gained probably like 50 to 60 pounds in like a year.
Yeah.
Which is crazy.
There's no way. I don't believe you.
I know. No, I know. You would look at me now and you're like, well, I could not picture this girl 225 pounds.
Yeah, there's no way.
I'm 5'9", so I'm tall.
I was gonna say when you walked in, I was like, oh yeah, this girl tall. Right. I was like, shit, dude, I should have worn my Jordans. She walked in, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah, I'm pretty tall. So yeah, I gained a bunch of weight, lost myself, and so those like 3-4 years, it was just I literally like I don't know what my problem was. Like I literally was like, I don't know what I want to do. I don't know where I want to be. I completely lost myself. I have no motivation. I'm lazy, and I just don't give a shit. Yeah. And I don't know if that's. I hate to like say it's like a trauma thing, but there was just so much like built up from so many things that happened in my life. Yeah. To where I think this period of my life was just hard.
I've thought on that a lot because I feel like people say midlife crisis, but I think life just has a crisis every year. And I feel like it's not like you have a crisis every year. And I thought about that a lot because I feel like I hit that mental low when I was like 15. You know what I mean? When my dad got out and I didn't know what was going on with my life opposed to like what I was going to do with my life. But I reflect and look into getting into the insurance industry and I think like why do like 95% of the kids or people around our age that I meet, they don't know what they want to do and they literally feel like borderline depressed. And I really truly believe that it's this society is making this comparison to decades ago when our parents graduated high school and they had their own place and they had their job and they were and then you compare the financial difference. Rent 3 decades ago was $400 a month.
I could rant.
You know what I mean? Like, and then for me to put pressure on an 18-year-old girl or boy and say, now you need to go have your own place and a job and figure your life out immediately. It's like, do you realize if you don't make $4,000 a month, you will be poor. Like in America, if you don't make more than $4,000 a month, you will be poor in America. Borderline, you could just basically be homeless. Yeah. If you're not going to get on like government assistance programs, which like, nobody wants to be on those because it's embarrassing. You know what I mean? So it's like, how do you go from 18, you're in English class, to 2-3 months you graduate and go find an apartment alone, like Chicago? You're going to pay $2,000 a month, or you're going to live like in a shack. Yep. Then you add a roommate. They're depressed. You're depressed. You know what I mean? They go through a breakup. They miss you know what I mean? Maybe they go through a place where they don't have a job. You cover. It's like, no wonder, you know what I mean? We're making this comparison. And I always try to get this message out. Like, you're not behind. We're just in a different season. And so, like, your parents love you. I always be like, sometimes they deliver it wrong. They make mistakes. They cheat on each other. You get a divorce. You know, stupid shit happens. But, like, at the end of the day, I really genuinely feel like parents, for the most part, want to see you do good. But sometimes I don't think there's enough depth that they can kind of, like, sometimes I think they're just talking out their ass and don't realize, like, hey, when you got an apartment, it was $400 a month, and you minimum wage hasn't gone up, you know what I mean, since then. It's like, you were making $8 an hour then, and that was 30 years ago, you know what I mean? So it's like the average person still getting $10, $15 an hour. So I think that's something, generally, if you're listening, you're like, man, my life sucks right now, I'm behind, I'm failing my parents. Like, no, your parents got into an apartment for what was worth like 20 Big Macs. You know what I mean? Like getting an apartment right now is like, you got to be like Elon Musk.
Right. I know. It's so hard. My mom to this day always tells me like at 20 years old, she was in her own apartment. And I'm just like, Mom, at 20 years old, I was literally in my eyes still a kid. Like I just did not know. Like I you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So, I'm like, it's just not like that. It's not
no,
like that.
It's not like that at all. And when you break down and see it on like a financial chart and like look at the difference between the income ratio in proportion to just the overall inflation and seeing how things have increased, it's like, it's not even like a 10 to 1. It's like 100 to 1. And it's like the fact that we would put that expectation on, and it's 90%, and it's like the rich get richer and their kids, they inherit their businesses or they get some type of some type of educational thing where it's like, oh, they figured it out. Like, yeah, they figured it out. They got $1 million loan from dad, you know?
Right, exactly.
So
I know a lot of people like that too.
Yeah, dog. Yeah, you figured it out all right.
Yeah, I know.
Crazy. So you go through that hard season. You're lost. You're figuring things out. When do you get a hold of shit and be like, I'm on my shit now? You know what I mean? COVID. Wow. So what took a lot of people out put you on.
Yeah, which I haven't talked about a lot. A lot of people plummeted during COVID.
Yeah.
Like when COVID started 2020, I was 21. I was turning 21.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of did the opposite as everybody else.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone's like, oh, I gained the COVID 15, kind of like how they say college 15 or whatever. They're just like, you know, we're stuck in our homes. We can't move much. Gyms are closed. Everything's closed. It's hard to like, you know, better yourself. Everybody's depressed. And I get that. Like, I get that. Everybody went through it.
Mm-hmm.
I think when COVID started too, TikTok blew up.
Mm-hmm.
And TikTok was like a main source of education for me. It still is to this day. But I started, like everybody has their own For You pages. It's like you start liking things, everything just kind of like continuously comes up on your For You page. Everything was fitness, motivation. I started to just get into it. I started to just dive like straight deep into like, okay, I also like back up. I started to realize like I actually had a problem. There was one day where I literally couldn't fit into like any of my pants anymore, and I had to go into like plus size, and that's kind of like the moment where I realized like, okay, there's something like actually going on with me. Like there's something wrong and there needs to be change like right now. So I during this whole period too, I had gone to school. I had gone back to school. I had figured myself out there. So I had, when COVID hit, obviously schooling kind of stopped. So I was like in the middle of schooling when that started. So I finally finished school. We were all locked down, and I kind of just went AWOL with trying to lose weight. So educating myself on that was like a no-brainer. I figured it out pretty fast, like how to do it. And I went all in, and it happened pretty fast. Like I literally lost the weight in like a year and a half. So I kind of just like literally did like a whole 180 on my life after COVID happened. Like it was kind of crazy.
Was there any books or podcasts or people that like you really latched on to?
No. I wish there was something that I could say. TikTok is just obviously millions and millions of people that you just scroll. Like there are so many people that like have inspired me. Yeah. But I haven't like pinpointed on like certain podcasts and people that have helped me. They're all pretty much like influencers, nutritionists, dietitians that are just sharing their information like on TikTok. So not necessarily anything specific that helped me. But.
So you do a 180, you turn your life around. And I think a key thing, you guys, I don't know if you were listening, year and a half, and she said that was fast. That's 100% right. A lot of people, especially like me being in the life insurance business, people will watch my content and be like, oh, can I come and make money like fast? I was like, fast is a year and a half, dog. We can have you come here and make a lot of money. I got a lot of guys in here that make 6+ figures. A couple guys coming close to 7 figures. They've been grinding for 3 or 4 years. You know what I mean? It's like day and night, focused, locked in, intentional. And that's the healthy and right way to build a business or do anything that's going to be great. You know what I mean? When it comes to your body, relationships, anything that's great, it's going to take time. So if you try to buy into some fad of like, can I do this shit overnight? Like, no, dude. Like that's, you know, like the only thing that gets overnight is easy. You know what I mean? Like, you can take what I'm insinuating as well. You know what I mean? Like, especially you young dudes, you know, if it's easy, you don't even want to wife it up. So it's like, if it's great, it's going to take some time. You're going to have to put some work into it. If you're going to wife it up, it's going to take some time. And that's huge. I think the second thing you said, the past was a year and a half. And also just the vision of knowing that you deserve a better life. You know what I mean? Like, I think a motivational speaker had said, like, you know, I know motivation wears off, but it's like a bath. You know, we recommend you do it every day. Yeah. And it's like, no one's going to come save you. There's no motivational clip, no content or anything that's going to be put out there that's going to, like, make you money. Like, at the end of the day, you got to find that shit within yourself and realize, like, I deserve a better life. Yeah. Are you willing to pay the price? So I think that's huge. So from there, you find yourself, when do you get into the esthetician school?
That was before. I had gone into esthetician school at like 21.
Okay.
So I was still like way overweight during esthetician school. I had like no even focus on fitness, nutrition.
Yeah.
This was before that.
Okay.
I finished esthetician school. I'm still working retail throughout this whole process. I was in retail for a while. So I had a lot of customer service experience. I think that's one of my like strengths is my customer service. So I ended up finishing esthetician school and then still working in retail. I waited a little bit longer to get a job, considering estheticians are working on people. So during COVID, they like literally shut all that kind of stuff down. Yeah. Working on like literally I'm touching people's faces. So it took a while for that to start up with companies again, like to start like providing facials for people. So fast forward, I finally, 2022, like the beginning of 2022, I got hired at Restore. So it took a long time. Like this is just like my life is just this like slow and ongoing like process.
Yeah.
So maybe I'm just a procrastinator. I don't know.
No, I think, you know, figuring it out in your early 20s is better than your early 60s. Yeah. You know what I mean?
Still figuring it out though.
Yeah. So, that's life. You know, and I think we'll figure it out. And, you know, you go to the grave figuring it out, I feel like. Yeah. Because I feel like there's not enough money. There's never enough money. There's never enough success. There's never enough until you just kind of look in the mirror. And I always say, like, be content but never satisfied. Like, I'm grateful for me. I'm grateful for everything I've gone through, the family that I have, the things that have left me, the things that have stayed with me. But I'm not satisfied, but I'm content. You know what I mean? It's like it helps me to not get depressed through comparison. You know what I mean? Because we can always compare and be like, I've done really well, but then I could be like, well, Mr. Beast is my age and he's worth $1 billion. You know what I mean? So it's like there's always gonna be a dude with more or girl with more, and it's like, man. Yeah. I'm just so grateful for my mom. I'm just so grateful for, like, you know what I mean? Like, I have
struggled with comparing myself.
Yeah.
Especially with social media.
Yeah, we live in an age where it's like everything's in front of us, and like for the most part, our mind just lapses and we forget like most of that shit's fake. You know what I mean? Where we're just looking at all these Lamborghinis and these perfect bodies. It's probably got to be harder for the women, I would imagine, because the men aren't really putting in like the BBLs or anything like that. There, you can add the abs in now. I heard you can get you can get like surgery to add like abs in. But
I think the most mind blowing thing I've heard is people trying to get taller with this.
Yes, I need to look that up. I'm so glad she would bring that up. She walked in, we're eye to eye. I'm like, oh god, this girl tall. the first surgery, she said, maybe you can get taller. Yeah. Yeah. 6'5". Yeah, the kid dating my sisters.
I think men are getting shorter.
They are. We are. I'm the last tall man.
That's been.
I always just keep the Jordans on. That always gives me like where I can just lie and say 6 foot. I have no idea. I didn't feel like 5'9" until now.
I'm 5'9".
Yeah, I didn't until you walked in.
But I have shoes on, so
yeah, 5'10". 5'12" with those shoes. My ex was like 5'9" though.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm like, all right, I got to get taller. We're going to have to find out the tall surgery. Esthetician, you're there now. What's some of your favorite stuff that you do, and what are some of the, like, I don't know, features that benefit people? I think I've had like 2 facials.
So we only do a few services at Restore right now. They are continuously adding on aesthetic services, but right now we're doing the hydrofacial, which is like extremely popular facial.
Is that the water pump one?
Yeah, it's like
that's the one I do.
It's a device that has like different tips that does different things. So cleanse, exfoliate, extract.
Like
you can
burn.
Actually, like see what comes out of your face.
Yeah, they'll do it and they'll be like, "Look at this." I'm like, No, that's gross.
I know it's gross, but it's cool to see, and we're supposed to show them to see like it's doing something for you, and then it's gonna like infuse your skin with the right ingredients to help hydrate and everybody. And cool thing about HydraFacial is it's customized based on what you are looking for. So everybody's skin concerns, we can customize it based on what you're looking to treat, heal, whether it be acne, anti-aging, things like that.
So how quickly does that help somebody? They come in, hey, I'm not happy. I've got this blemish here. I've got scar here. I've got acne here. Like, how quickly can someone see results?
So kind of like how you said earlier, everything takes time.
Yes.
And that's huge with skin and skin care. So they come in, they have a concern. We guide them in the right direction with treatments. So whether it be once a month, twice a month, everybody's different. Depends on their consult. Everybody has a consult too. And then usually, like if they're on a continuous, treatment, they're continuously showing up, and then we send them either home with products. Yeah. But I will suggest products outside of our store because I'm going to be honest with everybody. You have to buy my products. Yeah. Okay. And I'm not the one that's selling them. It's the franchise. Yeah. So I will be completely honest there. Estheticians have their own companies. Like they open up their own kind of suites. Yeah. They sell their own stuff. That's great. That's how they make their money. But I'm not in that yet. That's not something I decided to do. So I'm not going to suggest people products to take home if I don't believe in them or if I don't think they're going to work for you. Yeah. So I'll do that for them. I'll kind of make up a plan and then I'll tell them you should buy this from Target. And it also depends on their budget. Yeah. Skincare is expensive. Mm-hmm. There are medical grade skincare products that I am 100% for, and I know they're expensive, but it's because of the ingredients and science behind them. Yeah. So people don't really realize that. They think it's like a scam, but it's really not. Mm-hmm. There are products that you can get from Target that are absolutely phenomenal that I will suggest to people that say that they can't afford the things that we sell and restore. So everything has to do with coming in consistently for your facials, but like 90% of it has to do with what you were doing at home. Mm-hmm. It also has so much to do with your diet. Like there's so much that goes into like what comes out of our face. So true. For life. And then like also nowadays sunscreen is like huge, which it never was when we were kids. My mom never like pushed sunscreen like when I was in like my teen years. Like I literally remember just like frying out by the pool, right? Mm-hmm. Now that I know all about it, like this is literally the leading cause of us aging. Yeah. So us aging, like some people just don't care about the way that they look. They don't care that they're. I feel like that's the dudes. Like I really don't care. I'll just dudes don't give a shit. Yeah. Right? But females do. So, yes. Unfortunately, everything when we were younger, us frying in the sun, will eventually come out. Yeah. So I tell people, all my friends, my age especially, wear your damn sunscreen. Yeah. Like, and everybody that comes in through my office, wear your damn sunscreen. Like, if you are looking to prevent future aging, which is most of my clients, that's like their main concern. Yeah, the aging. Yeah. Right. So it's all depending on like a custom plan, and it takes time. Yeah. Especially if they have some type of skin concern, it takes time, but it also takes consistency. Like if they have acne, like that's something that is controlled, not healed. Yeah. So it's also something I explained. Now, do you do like the eyebrows and all that too? I was trained in school to do them, waxing, tinting, eyelash tinting, things like that. But I don't do them at Restore currently. Okay. I do have like a certification with them, but I don't do them at the moment. Okay. I'll do them like for my friends. Yeah. In my own apartment, but. Yeah. Yeah. Let's go. I've gotten mine done a couple times. I had to stop because it was just too much. I feel like they were looking crazy. I feel like I look like Catwoman or something, or like just nuts, dude. So now I just grow the caterpillars out and let them feel like it's just part of my identity. You know what I mean? Just something to stick out and be crazy. What's the future? What's the future vision for you? Like next 5 years? I don't know. Just going with the flow. Going with the flow, becoming a better person. I have so much I want to do. Yeah. That I get overwhelmed with myself. Yeah. I'm an indecisive person, and I don't like that about myself. But I try to just go about it. I am obviously an esthetician, and I've really enjoyed these past few years being one. But because of like my passion, I am all for making a passion a career. Yeah. So because of my passion towards not only skin, but also my TikTok and like my fitness, like kind of transformation. Yeah. I've always wanted to go into more like I'd love to become a personal trainer.
Yeah.
Or something along the lines of like just inspiring people to do the same thing.
Yeah.
So I think in the next like 5 years, I've always wanted to go into like the med spa industry too, like working more into like lasers and things like that. I also have a laser certification, so I went to like a laser program.
Yeah.
To do like tattoo removal, like things like that. So it's either going more towards that route, but at the same time on the side, maybe trying to do something along the lines of like personal training.
Yeah.
I just don't know. I don't know where.
I feel like you could do all that. You know what I mean? It's like, it sounds like a lot, but I feel like it also sounds like it's in a similar realm as well. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like, it all sounds like it's like in that like health realm. And the power of social media puts you in a position where you can kind of virtually create like just a larger scale business, opposed to like if you're personal training at a limited gym, you got to go to that gym. But there's a lot of these, you know what I mean, gurus on. So I feel like everybody on TikTok is just jacked or something. And I'm like, I like work out so hard and like eat decent. And I'm like, how the fuck is this dude so much more jacked than me? You know what I mean? Or like make a bunch of money off it and things like that. So I feel like you could definitely, you know what I mean? Especially, you know, with the TikTok and things like that, like personal train on there and just sell programs. Like, hey, if you like the results I've been able to get and want to get something similar, hit me up.
I know there's so many programs out there that.
Yeah, everybody's got a program.
I don't know how to make a damn program.
Yeah.
I'm sitting here like, okay, like I mean, I did it, but I didn't pay to do it.
Yeah.
Like I figured it out on my own without paying, but I understand why these people do it. They need the money.
Yeah.
I just don't personally know how to make a damn program. So if somebody wants to teach me how to make,
bro, it's simple. You just document. Here's what my. All right, what's your routine look like? All right, I wake up. I mix this, you know what I mean? I have this, and then do this for the next 60 days. If you don't get any results, all your money back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. I guarantee you could sell a couple of those. I could sell some packages for you.
Yeah, I've been thinking about trying to put together either that or like one-on-one coaching, but I also like feel like I should get some type of like certification to start one-on-one coaching people.
Dude, I'll bring you to Lifetime one time and show you some of the trainers. I have a trainer for legs, and I will ask them, like, they just let everybody be a trainer? Because I'll be looking at it, I'm like, how come I look better than all of these trainers and they have a shirt on that says trainer? I'm like, that dude shouldn't be a trainer. You know what I mean? He can barely walk. You know what I mean? That dude shouldn't. What's he going to train people on? Like, he's eating a cupcake. Like, so I feel like, forget the training certification. Like, just go out there, start making that content.
Yeah, you're right.
Do you like the cold weather? Do you like Chicago?
I love this city.
Yeah.
I don't mind cold weather.
Yeah.
I think I am kind of a fan of having all 4 seasons, even though we only get a little bit of spring and fall.
Yeah.
In the middle of dead winter, when it hits like January, February, seasonal depression comes in
so
like
hard.
Another trucker. I swear it's those
so
2
bad.
months especially, but I do love Chicago.
Yeah.
I always have.
It's grown on me a lot.
Are you from here?
No, I grew up in Arkansas.
Right. Okay.
Then to Pennsylvania. Then I opened my first office in Nebraska, so I was there for a year. So I know like hard winters has been like definitely since 10 years old on.
How long have you been in Chicago?
3 years this month.
Okay.
Yeah, 3 years this month.
So it's a lot to be here, but
a significant amount.
I love it.
Yeah, it's grown on me a lot. I think I'll always have a base here, but I'm more of like a Texas. Like I miss the country.
I've always wanted to go to Texas. Farm. I feel like once I go there, I'll love it.
Yeah, yeah, you will. Do you like food?
Love food.
Yeah, like Southern food. Like there's good Southern soul food down there. All right, here's my next question. What's your like outside of the esthetician and working out? What's like a hobby for you? Something you just could do forever?
I literally like the only answers I would say is like literally working out.
Like that?
That's something else I do. Probably like shopping and eating. Like my favorite thing to do, somebody's like, what's your favorite thing to do? It's trying new restaurants.
All right, let's go over. I love food so much. Yeah. First thing I do when I go to a new city is I try every restaurant. Yeah. What's your top 3, top 5, top 1
restaurants?
Even? Yeah, because I know you're indecisive, so like I keep a list of stuff.
Oh my god, I'm so indecisive.
And you could pick a category of like, I like steak, so I like this place.
I'm like obsessed with Italian food. If somebody were to say like, what's your favorite kind? It's probably Italian.
Fire.
Favorite food's pizza.
Yeah.
For sure. And pizza and pasta. So like I love like Gia Mia. Like
Yeah.
I love going to Gia
You've
Mia.
heard that.
That's like a chain, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
That's so hard.
Gibson's Italia is really
Gibson's
good.
great.
Yeah.
I love a steak too. Like this is when my indecisiveness comes in, especially with food.
Yeah.
Like I literally don't know how to pick
my
favorite food. I also just like love trying like different like drinks too. Like I think like mixology is so cool. Like the whole like just picking different like cool drinks to try.
Rarely ever drink, but I'm a girl when it comes. I'm girly when it comes to drinking. Mm-hmm. So like it'll be a strawberry daiquiri or something. It'll be like, and like if I ever go out to dudes, they'll be like pissed. Like they'll be like, bro, why are you ordering that? Because it'll just be us, all us dudes at the table. I'm like, can I get a pina colada virgin? And they bring it over with a big umbrella or something. I'm like, you know what I mean? Like it ain't like that. I just like that. I got that sweet tooth.
No, I know. I love them. I love the little sweet drinks, and I think it's so cool. So, yeah, that's like definitely my favorite thing to do is just try new spots, try different things.
Do you like movies?
I do.
You got the ADHD.
I don't. Right.
You don't want to sit there.
I don't like sitting through movies.
Yeah.
Like I for some reason I don't watch a lot of movies.
That's the only thing.
If I were to do anything, it's like just binging shows.
What's your favorite show then?
Breaking Bad.
Breaking Bad. I was just talking to somebody the other day because one of my best dudes, he's from Colorado, and I was like, "What's the drug of choice out there?" He's like, "Meth." And I'm like, "Oh, like Breaking Bad?" He's like, "Yes."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh my god, dude! Imagine just a bunch of Breaking Bad characters." That's where he's from, Colorado.
Cool.
Let's go. You got the meth characters out there, huh?
Dude, I lived an hour away from the meth capital of America.
For real?
Yeah.
Wow.
Look up Craig, Colorado.
That's crazy.
We used to have a sign that said Craig, America, meth capital of America.
That's crazy. Breaking Bad is such a dope ass show.
It is. I watched it like twice.
Yeah, I was literally thinking about rewatching. I was like, should I rewatch it?
It's such a show to rewatch. Like I don't think to rewatch many shows because why would I? But Breaking Bad is one of them.
What's the do you watch the sequel movie thing?
No, the Better Call Saul.
Yeah, well, Better Call Saul, but there was like a movie thing too that I watched, and it like explains like what's the dude's name again? The young one. Jesse, yeah, explains like what he did after old dude died.
I heard about it. I never saw it.
It was decent. I believe it's on Netflix. It was decent. Okay, we're starting to wrap up. So now I'm asking the questions that I'm just curious about. Yeah. Music.
Love music. I'm a person that likes all genres, which I know is kind of annoying.
We're gonna see if she really means that because people say that and then you hit them with this country.
I love country.
Old country or just like the new country that like has weird.
I like both. Like I like if someone were to ask me like 4 or 5 years ago, it's old Tim McGraw.
Yeah.
I like, but it's nothing like, I don't know, like crazy old country, but.
Joe Rogan or Joe Biden? You got to pick one. Doesn't matter for what.
Joe Rogan.
All right. Let's go. That's a fire answer. Movies, music. Do you follow any like any trending topics? Because I want to ask, like, do you follow like the Dylan Dennis and Logan Paul at all?
A little bit of Logan Paul.
Yeah.
I don't know much. I just.
Dylan's supposed to be fighting Logan Paul, and Logan's got the fiance.
Yes.
Nina.
Isn't there drama?
Yes.
Yes.
So she's an adult and had past relationships. She's a supermodel, so there's paparazzi.
Yeah.
And I guess Dylan for the fight is just posting all of her like past relationship like pictures and videos and is going insane. Like it's like he's basically trying to slut shame her, but I think they're all like relationships. You know what I mean? So it's like, what are your thoughts? Because here's where I'm torn because this is where I think, you know, where men will kind of be like, you know, a woman can't do that, but if the roles were reversed, doesn't matter how many, you know, women. When a man looks at it, it's like it doesn't matter how many girls that a man, you know, entertained. Yeah. But when it's the other way around, then it's not fair. Or if the man was on video, and I'm not saying or portraying like, oh, I, you know, want a girl with a, you know, lengthy past. That's not what I'm saying. But I would expect if we're going to interrogate mine, I wouldn't expect less or more from her. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like I would expect the equality. Here's what I did. Here's my past. Da 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 da. That's fine, whatever. You know what I mean? Like I'm not measuring or judging you off your past. What are your thoughts? I feel like it's obviously a male insecurity.
Yeah, 100%.
It's pretty simple.
Say that.
Yeah, it's just an insecurity.
It's a big insecurity. I will never ever explain to anybody. I don't think I have the. I will never explain to anybody how many people I've been with in the past.
Yeah.
Because it literally does not matter.
I think it's a high school topic.
It's a high school topic.
Yeah, it's like what I would ask.
Like, what's your body count in high school? And it's like that's not something at 25 years old. That's not something. That's not a
like I'm not 4 years
having.
old.
So I don't know. For him to do something like that, it's just like I think that's completely wrong. That's really wrong. I don't like it.
Yeah, it's nuts. Now I know they're marketers, and I know you young dudes. I better not get it. Like if you're gonna DM me something stupid like you're not being a top G, come meet me at 10th Planet Lombard, and we can roll. You know, we can do some jujitsu, throw the gloves on or something. If you're such a badass, right? And again, ask yourself the question we were talking about before: is it cool if your sister was with a man that is, you know, shaming her or putting things out in regard to her past or saying I can do this but you can't have that? You know what I mean? Like, just think before you give me some type of illogical comment or DM, because you're just gonna make yourself sound, you know, absolutely asinine. So is there anything else you wanted to highlight, talk about? I think there's anything else going on crazy. This was phenomenal. So we barely knew each other. I just DM'd her awkwardly. I was like, I'd love to get you on the podcast. She's like, for what? I was like, I have no idea, but I want to get you on.
I was a little nervous. I've never done something like this, but it was great.
Yeah, dude, this was fire. So follow Sam Carp. Go get some skincare. Go get some cryotherapy done. Restorative. Is that like 30 minutes away or something?
Restore Hyper Wellness is literally 5 minutes from here.
Oh, okay. 5 minutes from Lombard,
we have
guys.
multiple locations.
Okay, they're all over.
I will be leaving the company soon. I didn't mention that.
Do they know that?
No.
We're not that famous, so you're cool. My mom will know.
But the company's great. And,
Let's go.
You know,
What's the next step?
I don't know yet.
Let's go, dude. We might get ourselves some insurance.
I just moved to the city. Yeah.
Let's go.
I don't know yet.
Let's
but,
go. Well, blessings. See. You're gonna do great. Peace out. This was Diversity Kings. Probably don't subscribe. I don't know. We got to do better.